More than 100,000 people die from opioid overdoses each and every year. And many states and local communities around the country are now developing programs to help save addicts. Marty Salt has more.
Amy DeSico nearly died at this motel near Detroit 6 years ago after a second opioid overdose.
Literally, I was this close to not being here.
Narcan, also called naloxone, was FDA approved in 2019 to reverse opioid overdose. Free Narcan vending machines are being installed in many public places. In many states like this bus station in Flint, Michigan, and in Cincinnati, Ohio, and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
We try to remove barriers, and having it in a really open place like this will increase access and get it into the hands of people that need it.
Narcan works for opioid classification prescriptions like morphine and methadone, and street-level drugs like heroin.
There was a young lady who came up sobbing and said, "Gosh, I wish we had this about 5 years ago. I lost my mother to an overdose."
Overdose symptoms include shallow breathing, unconsciousness, pale skin, limp arms and legs, inability to speak, small pupils, vomiting, and purple lips and fingers.
Naloxone has no risk of becoming addicted to it, and if given to a person that is not experiencing opioid overdose, it will have no medical effect on them.
These vending machines are, they're a godsend.
The National Institutes of Health says a high rate of Narcan distribution could avert 21% of opioid deaths. Marty Salt, WGEM News.
And naloxone is now also available over the counter. There is currently no national database listing the free vending machines.